So let's go ahead and look at this Lee Gibson course. Now I will say, in all honesty, given how far away the camera is, it's a little bit hard to see on some of this stuff, the really intricate details. But what I was able to see is some strategy. And from what I can tell, the fact that you actually ran this course clean both times, so it doesn't look like there were any mistakes or you edited them out. So on the opening, the serpentine there at number 3 went well, going to the weave poles. Now the first time you did this dog on left, and you can see just ever so slightly kind of that drifting out of the weave poles. All right, so here you are. You look like you have a nice line kind of straight up this way. And then if you watch him, as we go, he drifts way out to here. So I can tell he's kind of making an arc, oops, wrong arrow, an arc kind of around this way. We'll see when you rerun it the other way, but I did like you running the other side better. So when you front crossed out of the weave poles and ran that dog on right, here I felt there was a lot of waiting around, waiting. I questioned whether or not you couldn't have done that all dog on right. So actually just picked him up out of the red tunnel, dog on right over the jump, dog on right into the yellow tunnel, and then you wouldn't have had to do those back-to-back crosses. All right, this looked nice. I liked it better, this one with the blind, compared to the second time when you come through to the rear. So execution is good both times. We're just kind of talking personal preference to kind of keep you moving. And then same thing here, because you end up with the back-to-back crosses. So you go into the red tunnel, you do this front cross here, send to the tunnel, and then blind there. Given all the time that you had, I think you just could have come through right here. So you send them in the tunnel. Just pick them up on your right and actually come around the tunnel and run down the line. So there actually would have been no side change. I think it would have kept you moving more. So here you kind of wait, and then you have to pause to send to the tunnel. Okay, now you can run. And I think doing dog on right would have forced you to hustle a little bit more. I'm trying to clear that off. Hustle a little bit more, which then in turn would have kept him moving. So again, another nice threadle. And then here, watch this line out of the weave poles. Because you do the front, you get a much tighter line. He doesn't do the drifting over the broad to the, out to the wide side of the broad going into the tunnel that we saw before. And here, this part was the same, the double cross. Again, doing all dog on right would have been an option for you. And the rear cross was executed nicely. So you did the blind, paced yourself, got him ahead, drove. So in terms of execution, it was a very nice forward motion rear cross. I just don't know that strategically it was the best choice, just because you did have to pace yourself so much. And then again, we see these double crossing. No, on this one you don't do the double cross. This one you finish dog on left there. So sending up to the tunnel. So nice option to do some variety. And I will say that since this was, something we have been kind of talking about, I do like the nature of these, of you running, him running, driving, and working the skills a little bit more than the small space. So I'm glad you decided to set this up and work this through. Good job.